Hi everyone and welcome to this edition of Jason's Journeys. This week we're going to do something a bit different. I was at a dinner party the other night and someone had their expensive, $3,000 video camera. Another friend had a $600 digital camera, and we saw the resolution on these digital cameras now. It's almost as good as the videos. Got me thinking, how about we push this to the limit? On eBay, I actually bought a $100 second-hand Sony camera. I'm going to take this with me. We're off to South America, Argentina, Uruguay, Brazil, and I'm going to do the whole holiday with just a $100 digital camera, and we'll see how we get on, shall we? So let's get to the airport, me and the cheap camera. It's Jason's Journeys, everyone. South America, here we go, come on!
Você sabe o que é caviar? Nunca vi nem comi, eu só ouço falar. Você sabe o que é caviar? Nunca vi nem comi, eu só ouço falar. Caviar é comida de...
Okay, so you've made it all the way to South America and Buenos Aires, the capital of Argentina. The first place you're going to want to check out is the Casa Rosa, or the Palace House, where Eva Perón made her famous speech. Buenos Aires' most colourful section is La Boca, home to Maradona and the Caminito with its colourful houses. And of course, no journey to Buenos Aires would be complete without checking out a tango show. And for you football fans out there, you've got to go to the Super Classico. Argentina was a military dictatorship up until the 1980s, but despite that it has always been a centre of artistic and architectural brilliance. From the Spanish-style buildings through to the Pink Palace that Eva Perón gave a famous speech. There are so many places to see and get around the city, from their opera house through to their large pedestrian malls, the obelisk that's the symbol of the city, as well as of course my favourite area, San Telmo, with its artisans, tango shows, cobblestone streets and every kind of antique and artifact you can imagine. Just walking around Buenos Aires is an absolutely enjoyable time and something I wouldn't miss for quids. Of course, there are many other things you can see and do in Buenos Aires, including Buenos Aires Zoo, where for $7 you can get up close and personal with everything from alpaca, llamas, camels, monkeys, as well as getting close to lions and patting them. They kind of don't seem to follow the rules of conservation of everyone else, but that's to your benefit if you want to get up and close with these animals. Two final things before you leave Buenos Aires. First off, make sure you get down to Recoleta, the most expensive and classy suburb in Buenos Aires, where you can check out the crypt of Eva Perón, who was buried originally in Italy under the name Maria Maggi. After a lot of fights, eventually her body was brought back to Argentina. And of course, no trip to Argentina is complete without hearing about Maradona, their greatest export, the man who with his Hand of God goal in 1982 secured World Cup victory for Argentina. It was just revenge for Argentinians after the Falklands War loss to England. They made it a celebration throughout the country, and many say it was the commencing point that threw the government out and ended the military regimes in Argentina. Maradona was from Boca, the poorest area in all of Buenos Aires and the home of the Caminito. Okay, so it's time to make our way out of Buenos Aires. Some of the places we're not going to get to on this edition of Jason's Journeys include Mendoza, the wine capital of Argentina, as well as the stunning lakes of Bariloche. Instead, we're going to stick to the eastern coast, head down to the Valdez Peninsula to do some whale watching, head across to El Calafate and the Merino Glacier to do some hiking in the mountains, before finally making our way to Ushuaia, the southernmost city on earth down in Patagonia. The Valdez Peninsula is on the Atlantic coast and covers an area of about 3,600 square kilometres. It was listed as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1999. The coastline is inhabited by southern right whales as well as the largest penguin colony on Earth at Punta Tombo. In addition to that, as you'll see, there are many other sea lions, elephant seals and all kinds of wildlife as you head down towards the Patagonian mainland. This part of the world is really a nature lover's conundrum. The reason I say that is here you'll get up closer and more personal with animals than almost anywhere else on Earth. The Argentinian government doesn't really have those restrictions about distance, so you can come right up next to a whale, a seal, a million penguins and get that intimate experience you wouldn't get elsewhere. I'll leave it for you to decide. The penguins you can see here are Magellanic penguins, which grow up to about 70 centimetres tall and weigh about 5 kilograms. They can live anywhere up to 25 years. The number one attraction in this area is the Perito Merino Glacier. This glacier is located in the Los Glaciares National Park. It covers over 250 square kilometres of glacier and is one of 48 glaciers fed by the southern Patagonian ice field located in the Andes. This ice field is the world's third largest supply of fresh water. Tourists come from all around the world to go on a mini trek and go hiking around the glacier, and you can too. The glacier was named after explorer Francisco Moreno, a pioneer who studied the region in the 19th century. The unusual thing about this glacier is that it's one of few ones not retreating. The terminus of the glacier is 5 kilometres wide with an average height of 240 feet above the surface of the water. It has a total ice depth of over 170 metres. While travelling, I ran into some German tourists who had the bright idea of climbing up Mt Fitzroy. What I didn't realise was that they were prolific climbers, and in case you're not aware, Australia is the lowest and least mountainous continent on Earth. That should have been my first clue. Mt Fitzroy, or Mt Fitzroy, is a mountain located near El Chaltén in the southern Patagonian icefield. The 3-day hike I embarked upon was strenuous to say the least. We hiked up glaciers with crampons on our feet, hiked up ice walls using ice picks, and made our way through 90 kilometres of rugged mountainscape. The name Chaltén comes from a local indigenous word meaning smoking mountain due to the cloud that forms around the mountain's peak. Francisco Moreno first saw the mountain on the 2nd of March 1877. Since the native inhabitants called all the surrounding mountains Chaltén, he named it Fitzroy in honour of Robert Fitzroy, the captain of the HMS Beagle that travelled up the Santa Cruz River in 1834 charting the Patagonian coast. And while the journey was arduous, the scenery, as you can see, was just absolutely fantastic. The snow-capped mountains, the glacial lakes that were formed. It was an incredible journey and one that I won't forget for the rest of my life. See you after the break when we visit Ushuaia, the southernmost city on Earth. Hi, welcome to Ushuaia, where it's -4 degrees. It's a tropical summer's day. And by complete contrast, we head to the beaches of Brazil for some sun. Anyway, I'll see you soon.